I, Alpha Sahid and Kanu, swear by the Almighty God that the evidence I shall give in this matter before the state and the accused person in the dock, truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. I have sworn on the Holy Quran, my Lord.
You want to bring something to your attention with regards the video vicing of the hearing at this stage.
So as regards
the video vicing, the videoing and live streaming of the hearing at this stage. Yes, my Lord. So, my Lord, it's an objection.
objection to what?
To the video vicing and the live streaming of the hearing at this stage.
What's the legal basis?
My Lord, it's on the equality of arms. My Lord,
What equality of arms?
My Lord, under section 23, my Lord, when the hearing commenced, there was no recording or live streaming when the prosecution was presenting its case. When witnesses were being cross-examined, there was no recording and live streaming of the hearing. When applications were made and objections taken, no video vicing. Then, my Lord, we submit that doing so at this time will prejudice the rights of the accused persons as at the time when they are about to present their own defense. And my Lord, the court ought to be seen as being impartial in the application of the law.
And how does live streaming create an impartiality?
My Lord, when the prosecution was presenting its case and the witnesses being cross-examined, then there was no live streaming of the proceedings, my Lord. My Lord,
no, but how? How does it prejudice the case if there's live streaming?
my Lord, because the accused persons are still presumed to be innocent.
And how does that rebut the presumption of innocence?
My Lord, on the following grounds, my Lord, let me give you my reasons. My Lord, when the hearing is now being recorded and live streamed, my Lord, it is only this video side of it that the public will get. We understand it's a public hearing.
So is the public determining this case?
No, my Lord, it's not the public determining the case.
Is the public, is the public determining this case?
No, my Lord, it's not the public that is determining the case.
You see, I know you like to hit home the point, but hold on, we're going to get to the point. Is the public determining the outcome of this case? Do they?
No, my Lord.
Fine. Do the views of the public, insofar as their views are concerned, is that relevant to the consideration of this case?
My Lord, it has a tendency of prejudicing the case and
Prejudicing
also affecting witnesses that will want to come.
Prejudicing who?
My Lord, the case for the accused persons.
How?
My Lord, as I am saying, witnesses, there are certain witnesses who are television. They have fretfulness for television or for recording. And these recordings are permanent, my Lord.
Really?
Yes, my Lord.
So the witnesses are afraid to come to court because they are being televised?
My Lord,
it's the moment of fame.
My Lord, this is no ordinary trial.
And that is all the more reason why the public needs to see what's going on.
Well, that is the reason why, my Lord, we are saying, why was that not the case? Why now?
Well, maybe it wasn't thought of at that point.
No, my Lord, there has to be equality of treatment.
But how does that amount to inequality? You're not hitting the point.
My Lord, when the witnesses for the prosecution were being led and cross-examined, my Lord, and questions raised, my Lord, those facts are not in the public. The only fact that will be on the public now, as we speak, will be those that are being televised.
But you yourself have just said that the public, their views of the public, have no relevance to the consideration of the case.
Oh yes, but my Lord, you know, the fourth accused, my Lord, the fourth accused is now the leader of the leading opposition.
Ah.
Yes, my lord. And my lord, the views of the people, because we are getting closer to elections, and the views of the people will be affected.
Well, are the views of the people not going likely to be affected by not knowing what's going on in here?
No, my lord, on the reverse. What we are asking
So they will
for,
be affected by what goes on in here?
yes, my lord, on the reverse. What we are asking for, why now? Video vicing is not new. Why now?
It's not new,
Why?
but it's still being done in public, isn't it?
My lord, why now? Why now?
Is the choice, listen, look, you raise all these objections. Objections should be matters of law. What you've said there's nothing legal about what you've said. There's no law in what you've said. The provisions of Section 23 are clear that hearings should be held in public. Yes, video live streaming was not done previously. But who was it that says that now the trial has a different complexion? Your colleague, Mr. Macaulay. He said the trial now takes a different trajectory because of the status of the fourth accused. So the judiciary thought it fit that if that is the case, to quell all the falsehood and false statement that's been going on and all the rest of it, let the people judge for themselves by what happens in the court. So a decision, well, listen, you're asking why. I'm giving you the why. A decision was taken that henceforth, because of the way things are and all the fake news and false stories that have been going out, that the court would live stream proceedings here to ensure that members of the public have accurate information on the case. The question of whether it affects the minds of myself, of course you know it doesn't because I've been very clear about that, and I'm not interested in what the public think or what they say. I'm simply looking at the evidence. So if Section 23 of the Constitution requires that hearings should be held in public, there's nothing inconsistent between live streaming and the public requirement in Section 23. So if it's been live streamed to members of the public to see what is going on there, it does not contravene Section 23. All what you are raising now is to say, well, we do not like video evidence. If that is the case, if issues arise that witnesses' identities, for example, are scared for their identities to go out, we can screen the court out so their pictures are not shown out to the public. The court has all of those powers. You know it. But to come and say, well, oh, the trial of the accused are going to be prejudiced because the matters are being live streamed, I don't see how that effectively undermines the fair trial process.
My lord,
I see no legal basis to suggest that.
my lord, may I again state that video vicing court hearings and live streaming has been done before the commencement of this matter in this jurisdiction, but it was not done at the start of this matter. My lord, a very recent...
We understand that.
Yes, my lord. So, my lord, when the prosecution started, the judiciary never thought of it.
Because we did not have, you see, you again missing the point, we did not have a presidential candidate as an accused before the court. We had an ordinary person before the court. Your colleague, as I've just pointed out to you, Mr. Macaulay, was very clear, and I agree with him, that the status of the fourth accused has now changed. So consequently, the court needs to be ultra-transparent in essentially allowing members of the public to see what is going on. There are no other hidden agendas behind it other than the judiciary has been faced with accusations of witch hunt, blah, 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 blah. So we say, okay, open it up so people can see it.
Let me just give a very recent example.
What is the problem?
Let me just give a very recent example of yesterday. In the Donald Trump case,
Yes.
the very recent one. He's been a president. He's also vying for the office again. What the court ruled? No recording, live streaming of the hearing.
Well, why did the court give that ruling?
My lord, it's just the same.
No,
Because
it's
of
not.
it. My lord, it's just the same.
No,
My
because
lord, it is
no,
just the same.
no.
My lord,
The issue is
under the
no,
Section 23 rights.
no. The court was very clear why they gave that ruling. And in any event, we are not bound by the ruling of that court.
My lord, another point that I want to bring to the attention of this court is that these permanent video recordings are being used to ridicule the fourth accused as a candidate, a political candidate.
You see, again, this comes back to the same thing. Mr. Sise?
Yes, my lord.
I have sat in this court. People have been making recordings of this court and have been ridiculing me outside. Have I complained? Abusing my mother because of doing a job that I'm being paid to do, that I've been appointed to do by Parliament. Did I complain?
My lord, you brought it to our attention.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, my lord.
But I brought it to your attention just so you know.
So that's why we are bringing it to your attention.
Fine.
Well.
So it's been brought to my attention. I take care of it. And even right now as we are, when I was in New York, you were there. You and the recording is alive. Mr. Macaulay was also there. You had my mother being abused. Left, right, and center.
So, my lord, are you going to rule
Wasn't
on this
bothered.
one? My lord, are you going to rule on this one?
No. This one is pretty clear. Look, the provisions of Section 23 are clear. Public trial. I've said to you in clear terms that there has not been any witch hunt or conspiracy. And in the beginning, listen, in the beginning, you had a candidate, you had somebody who was an accused who had nothing. Now, you have a candidate that's a presidential candidate. The considerations applied by the court are different. And it's that difference in mind that the judiciary took the view that we need to be more transparent to avoid people spreading false rumors. All throughout this trial, evidence has been laid in that box. People are going outside with different versions of the evidence. And that is the reason why the court took the view that now we're going to televise it so nobody will be fooled as to what took place in here. And it's as simple as that.
My lord, we've been in this trial and we know when someone goes outside of your warning, the person will be brought here because we've not seen anyone who...
That is if we can find them.
My lord, because we know you are in control of this area, my lord.
No, of course. When this is why I'm saying, look, Mr. Sise, we know where we are right now, okay? This trial, I've said that many a time, and it's never going to change, will be conducted fairly. And one of the principal elements, you have political considerations in mind. I don't. And when it comes in here, we don't take political considerations into account. We're looking purely at the evidence that is before the court. And the rules of evidence requires that matters like this are publicly held. I could have cleared the court out. We could have just kept a few counsel in here, but we're opening it out so people can witness what is going on in the trial. And on the other hand, it is the right of the accused to be tried in public. Because justice should be seen to be done. Not just be done, but seen to be done. The idea here is that live streaming is part of what goes on. It's not just Sierra Leone that people are interested in this case. There are people outside of Sierra Leone. There are organizations outside of Sierra Leone that are interested in what's going on in here. So we are fully aware of that, and we don't want to be in a situation where people can spread false stories and false rumors about what happened in here when in fact nothing of the sort happened in here. So for us, we don't have an issue. We're not looking at any other considerations other than the fact that let the evidence go out. You are entitled, as usual, to cross-examine. If a witness is to come here that has a phobia for the cameras, they can be screened out. We do it in the sexual offences court.
Most grateful, my lord. My lord, I have now understood your position. My lord, on that basis, may I ask that the fourth accused as a company that would want to do live streaming of the hearing as well, that opportunity be accorded him as well?
That?
The fourth accused as a company that wants to do live streaming of the hearing?
Well, no, that will not be accepted. We have the established national press, the AYV.
Well, my lord, we've seen in this court Unity Press. My lord,
I don't know about. Listen, if Unity Press is in here, they are not accredited. Plain and simple. The accreditation was given only to SLBC and AYV TV, just the two of them. If there's any other person here that doesn't have accreditation, is brought to my attention, they'll leave. It's as simple as that. You know, because we don't want a situation. You see, Mr. Sise, let me say this. The reason why, you see, all of those things are thought out carefully. The reasons why we left it only with AYV, it's a commercial entity, and SLBC, the national broadcaster, and we've not included other entities because we don't want people putting their own gloss on the evidence. This again is misleading the public. So those that are accredited to come here, i.e. SLBC and AYV, were told clearly that they don't run commentary on the evidence, they simply report on the facts. But we're not going to have people here with vested interest recording stuff and then putting their own gloss on the evidence.
Yeah,
no.
Milord, may I again state that when this arrangement was being made for the live streaming, Milord, we were not informed.
No, you need not be informed because it's a court.
Milord, I do agree that it's a public hearing. But public hearing does not mean...
But where does it say in Section 23 that when the court takes those considerations in mind, the accused should be consulted? No.
No, Milord, it's fair hearing. Milord,
it's fair hearing.
Milord, when it's fair hearing, it's the accused, Milord. If you look at Section 23,
but who has the
it is
duty?
centered around the accused.
Who has the duty to give a fair hearing?
Milord,
the court.
Milord, the fair hearing
is... read out Section 23.
Milord, fair hearing is centered around the accused.
No, read out Section 23.
Milord, it is centered around the accused.
Well, read it out. You have Section 23.
Fair hearing is
Can somebody pass in the Constitution?
Milord,
let him read it.
Milord, I have it here with me.
Well,
but I know fair hearing...
No, well, read it so the public can hear.
Milord, fair hearing is centered around the accused.
No. Read the Section 23.
Milord,
No. You're not going to get away from it. Read Section 23. Read it.
Milord, let me read it.
Yes, let the public know what Section 23 is.
Whenever any person is charged with a criminal offense, it shall, unless the charge is withdrawn, be afforded a fair hearing within a reasonable time by an independent and impartial court established by law.
Right.
Any court or other authority prescribed by law for the determination of the existence or extent of civil rights or obligations shall be independent and impartial, and where proceedings for such determination are instituted by or against any person or authority or the government before such court or authority, the case shall be given fair hearing within a reasonable time. All proceedings of every court and proceedings relating to the determination of the existence or the extent of civil rights or obligations before any court or other authority, including the announcement of the decision of the court or other authority, shall be held in public, provided that the court or other authority may, to such an extent as it may consider necessary or expedient in circumstances where publicity would prejudice the interest of justice or interlocutory civil proceedings, or to such extent as it may be empowered or required by law, so to do in the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, the welfare of persons under the age of 21 years, or the protection of the private lives of persons concerned in the proceedings, exclude from its proceedings persons other than the parties thereto and their legal representatives. 4.
All right, hold on. So now, Section 23, 1, 2, 3, clearly shows that it is the court...
Well, is also important.
Hold on, we're coming to that.
1,
2, 3 shows it's the court that has the discretion.
No, right? Milord.
It is.
Milord.
Is it your discretion?
Milord, it's not discretion the court has.
So what is it?
Milord, it is as of right. It is as of right.
Mr. Sise, please.
Milord, these are inalienable rights. It is as of right that the court should maintain
the court has
of the hearing.
What I'm saying is this court has discretion in determining the considerations for a fair hearing. The discretion is with the court, not with anyone else.
Milord, it's as of right.
No, but it's as of right, but it's the court that has the discretion to deal with it. Is it not?
Milord, I've not seen it in
no, but that's why it says exclude from its proceedings. You read it. The court may exclude from its proceedings.
Milord, I've not seen it from what I've read.
Well, or you've not seen it?
Yes, my lord.
All right. Well, don't worry. When I write a ruling, you'll see there.
Most grateful, my lord. Yes, my lord.
So the issue is, as I've said, all what you've said, there's no law in there. The whole issue here is the court is live streaming the proceedings to ensure that members of the public get accurate information as to what happened. There are people in this court who are in here who cannot be lied to because they have seen, they've witnessed the proceedings. There are others outside who have not been able to witness the proceedings, and it's for that benefit that the court decides to be transparent to ensure that the proceedings are live streamed so everybody can hear it. It's no slur on any of the defendants here. In fact, it's in their interest to have a public trial so people know whether they did what they did or they did not do what they did.
And my lord, in England, the most recent situation is to give televised hearings during rulings, judgments.
Well, those are their rules. But American courts do it all the time.
So my lord, you see what the courts did in America for Donald Trump just
No, but
yesterday.
that's them.
We're
not bound by what they say. Yeah, that is their view. You know.
My lord, we go by your
No, there's nothing wrong with live streaming proceedings. It wasn't brought in because of anything else other than a desire to be transparent and to ensure that we are free from the barrage of lies that have been going outside about what is happening in here. Everybody has a view of this case as to what has gone on, when in fact no such thing has happened in this court. So let the public judge for themselves.
Just 3 months to the elections. So we
No, it's got nothing to do with elections. Nobody, you know, I'm not. Nobody. Listen, Mr. Jallo. Let me address you. I don't look at elections. We've said this thing over and over here. This is a court of law. Elections do not play a consideration in here. You know, this attempt to politicize these proceedings is what I have an issue with. I've been very clear that I would take cognizance of the fact that the fourth accused is a presidential candidate. But that does not mean that these proceedings will be politicized. I will not allow that. It's as simple as that.
My lord, I understand your point.
Yeah.
But I also think you should take into consideration, my lord, that this is a public interest matter.
It is.
That the fourth accused goes to election in less than 3 months. And issues and decisions or matters surrounding and concerning this matter touches and affects his chances at the ballot box.
Well, I do not take those into account.
Judicial notice.
No, I will not.
Fact, my lord.
I will not. I will not.
That's my lord, please.
Definitely not. I'll look at the evidence, because if I start doing that, I'll be prejudicing the trial of the first, second, and the third, and the fifth. No. Because I've explained to you that at the time, the fourth accused was an ordinary person. But your Mr. Macaulay was very clear that now the conditions have changed. And I agree with him. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with him. No. The streaming in New York because we want the public to see what was going on in New York. My lord, so the streaming continues to make sure that the public can see what's going on.
My lord, we do not have a problem with the streaming. What we have a problem is the perception that the fourth accused is being unreasonably targeted.
Well, it's not been, and I will not allow
Lord,
that.
That's the perception that's out there, and it is as defense counsels, it is our duty to raise it to the court.
Mr. Jallo,
and that is what we're doing.
Mr. Jallo, right? You're raising this issue now that there's a perception. I'm sitting in this case. You have been in this case. You've seen the way I've handled this case. I've been fair to both sides. But what are people saying outside? The SLPP judge.
My lord,
let us be reasonable.
My lord, we understand.
You know, we have people, we have people who go out of their way to ridicule the court, ridicule the judge, ridicule the lawyers. Likewise, you have people on the other side who are also ridiculing the fourth accused. So it swings and roundabouts. Nobody benefits from it. But what I have done to make sure we can keep the lead on this is to assure the accused persons and you, the lawyers, and the prosecutors, that we will have a fair trial here. That's why I don't go on social media. I don't care what they say. I don't listen to what they say. I look at the evidence. Plain and simple.
My lord, with all
so they can say what they like. And I said it in New York that whatever they want to say, they can say it outside. I'm not interested.
That's my lord, please.
I'm only looking at the evidence.
That's my lord, please. My lord, and it would have been better if we had just continued with the status quo as we were before, as how we started.
No.
It would have been perfect for us, for everybody.
I've just said to you, the judiciary took a decision in the light of attacks left, right, and center about, this is a witch hunt. People were misconstruing evidence that's been led in this court. That's why a decision was taken to put it live so the public can see. Why should there be a problem with that? Yes, Mr. Kagbo.
My Lord, we bow to your wisdom, and in the interest of progress, we would like to inquire from the prosecution as to whether the recalled witness is here. Because I sense that your Lordship wishes to progress with the matter.
Well, of course. And for me, you know, I mean, I just get sick of this over-politicizing of a trial. It's the law we're looking at. We're all lawyers here.
My Lord, I can assure you,
You know,
that I, for
Let's
one,
focus on the law.
haven't heard the word that you are an SLPP judge at
No,
all.
well, that's what they have said. But you know, some of these things, Mr.
Yes, my
Kagbo,
Lord.
must be said.
Yes, my Lord.
Because we are all lawyers here. We understand that by the Constitution, the President appoints every judge. Pakaba appointed loads of judges that are still in this building.
Correct.
Dr. Ernest Baikoma appointed loads of judges that are still in this building. President Julius Madabio appointed other judges that are still in this building.
True.
And for the next 50 years, every other president would appoint judges. So because Dr. Ernest Baikoma appointed judges, does that make them an APC judge?
No, my Lord,
I mean,
as
come
I
on.
was saying,
You know, it's our Constitution. That's what it calls for.
for our part, my Lord,
You know,
we do not view your Lordship in that color at all.
because I do my work. I've said consistently, I will apply the law
Yes,
as
my
it
Lord.
is. No
Yes, my
matter what other considerations there are, I will focus on the evidence.
As my
That's why
Lord
I don't
pleases.
go on Facebook.
Yes.
If I go on Facebook, it's for football.
Oh, is that
And those
so, my Lord?
Manchester United fans know that I deal with them on Facebook.
Well, Arsenal is.
No,
when
we are
was-
top of the league. End of story.
When
We
was, the
don't talk.
last time, when was the last time your Lordship
Doesn't
went on
matter.
Facebook?
Doesn't matter. We are top of the league.
As my Lord, please.
You know, and those small boys are 20 points behind
Yes,
us. So
my
we're
Lord.
okay with that.
Noisy neighbors.
And the other ones as well on that side.
Make
But look,
vision, my Lord.
let's focus on the case.
Yes,
You know,
I
come
wanted
on.
to know if from our colleagues on the other side, if Mr. Paul Bokari is here, as we are about to watch this cinema, although the popcorn is missing.
No. And Kanu is going to tender the
Yes, my Lord.
evidence as it is. And I believe Mr. Fofana wanted to cross-examine. It would depend upon whether he needs to cross-examine on the basis of the video evidence. Then it will be played.
As my Lord
But the
pleases.
entire video will not be played.
As my Lord pleases.
Yeah?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Yes, Mr. Amara.
My Lord, first off, I would want to respond to my very learned senior's question as to whether the recalled witness is in court. Yes, the recalled witness is in court and ready to go, as long as it is convenient with the court today or any day. My Lord, in reply to the objection, my Lord, I'll first off say, thank you. So you agree, that's an objection, it needed to be replied to then?
No, I have said no. Mr. Amara, I've said to him that those fair trial considerations are matter for the court.
As my Lord pleases.
You know,
as my Lord
I
pleases.
need not worry about what he says.
His
It's about the court.
objection, their objections were not rooted in the law. In essence, to accommodate that was to be streaming against the law. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. You've sworn yourself. Yes. So, you have prepared the report, yes? In
Yes, my
respect of the locust visit in New York.
Yes, my lord.
All right. Do you have that report with you?
Yes, my lord. I have two reports. Yes, I have two reports, my lord.
Two reports.
Yes, two reports.
All right. What are they?
I have the written report that was done and that was done by the court registrar.
I know it's a court registrar. By me.
By me, by Alpha Side and Kanu. And the second report was is a video report and photographs done by the head of communications, Misael Kas Sano.
And he was present at the locust.
Yeah,
was he not?
yes, my lord.
All right. With respect to the written report done by you, do you have it there?
Yes, my lord.
Is it
I have
signed?
it. Yes, my lord. Signed and dated.
All right. Let's pass it to council quickly so they see it. Gentlemen, this was the report that was read yesterday, and it has incorporated the issues raised by Mr. Fofana. So that's the signed report there. Just pass it to council so they see. And copies will be made available to all of you after, so you have it. Mr. Fofana, you need not worry. What sticks in the mind sticks in the mind.
Page 29.
Yeah, so, but it's incorporated them into,
29.
I mean, broadly speaking, we know what we saw, so it sticks in the mind.
My lord, the fourth accused has certain objections to this report.
Which part?
My learned friend, African Osise, will address you on that. On behalf of the fourth accused.
Well, you were saying that he has objection. Can't you tell me?
No, my lord, because Africanos will do the objections on behalf of the fourth accused.
I see. All right.
You know, I only came in yesterday.
All right. Well, I think it needs to be cross-examined on that. Yes, Mr. Sise.
Yes, my lord. My lord, the second and fourth accused persons objecting in the tendering of this report on the basis that the law and procedure, as in the case of Samuel M.J. Cassell and Dumbuya Falla, so decided by the Court of Appeal, a civil appeal 2883, Samuel M.J. Cassell and Dumbuya Falla and others, as decided by the Court of Appeal, civil appeal 28/83, dated, judgment dated the 29th day of March, 1989, has not been followed with regards the taking of oath. My Lord, I will refer this court to the decision of Timbo J.A. as he then was. He said, since the evidence given at the inspection was not made under oath, we hold that it was legally inadmissible.
Was evidence given at the locus? And by who?
My Lord, this is our objection.
Was
Lord.
evidence given at the locus and by who?
My Lord, yes.
Who gave the evidence?
My Lord, the first day.
You see, you're giving all this explanation. It's a very simple question. Who gave the evidence?
My Lord, there was a gentleman who came the first day.
Who gave the evidence?
Tijan.
All right.
Tijan was there.
Did he give evidence?
Yes, my Lord.
Did he give evidence?
Tijan's statement forms part of this record.
You sure he gave evidence?
Yes, my Lord. My Lord, his statement forms part of this record, my Lord. And yes, my Lord. And Mr. Nalu.
Did Mr. Nalo give evidence?
My Lord, that is what we're saying. It is part of the record.
Did Mr. Nalo give evidence?
My Lord, we are saying Mr. Nalu's statement forms part of this record.
You know, Mr. Sise, you're going to go exactly where I want you to go.
no,
Did
no,
Mr. Nalo give evidence?
My Lord, we're saying Mr.
Did
Nalu's
Mr.
statement
Nalo- no,
forms part of this
I'm
record.
not asking you that. Did Mr. Nalo give evidence at the locus?
My Lord, we are saying yes.
His lawyer is there. Did you hear him give evidence?
My Lord, we are saying Mr. Nalu's statement forms part of the records, my Lord. My Lord. My Lord, we have the authority
All
here.
these objections are misconceived. There was no evidence given
Most
at the
grateful, my
locus.
Lord. My Lord will want you to
Now
rule.
listen, I will rule on that. And
grateful,
that's
my
what
Lord.
I've just ruled, that the objection is misconceived.
My Lord,
Evidence was not given. Before we went to the locus, I gave clear orders as to how the locus was going to be conducted.
My lord, even that.
And,
my lord,
well, hold on.
My lord, we are not done with our
Well,
objection.
hold on.
My lord, we are not done with our objection.
Okay, well, on the first part of your objection, I will not even entertain it.
No, my lord. My lord,
That's
my
the first
lord,
part,
my lord,
because-
yes, my lord, with your leave.
No, you,
My lord,
listen,
allow
no,
council, allow
no.
council to make
No.
a holistic
Well, no. Listen,
objection.
listen. I preside over this court, and I will compartmentalize your objections. You see, that's the first part of your objection.
My lord, you
No,
cannot
no.
do so because
No.
the objection, my lord, the objection
Mr.
is
Sise,
interwoven.
Mr.
So you
Sise,
cannot dissect the objections, my
Mr.
lord.
Sise,
Yes, my lord.
I will dissect them at this point and interweave them when I'm ready. All right? For now, the first part of your objection, I will not countenance it. Because Mr. Nalo did not give evidence. Mr. Nalo was told to talk us through, and Mr. Fofana was there. You remember that I cautioned him on having Mr. Nalo give evidence twice. So we agreed that Mr. Nalo was simply going to show us around the building, which is not evidence.
So therefore, my lord, this
Fine.
record cannot form evidence.
Well,
It cannot form evidence.
Listen. You see, this is why I say these objections are misconceived, and honestly, I consider them designed to waste the court's time.
My lord,
The
no
report
sense.
there, well, please hear me out. The report there is not the report of Mr. Nalo or Mr. Tijan. It's the report of Mr. Ankanu.
No, my lord.
That is the evidence.
My lord, with your leave. My lord,
It is
the
what-
report
no, please.
from the locust visit,
No,
my
the
lord,
report, you're not
which should form
listening.
part of the evidence, my
No.
lord.
I said the report was given by Mr. Said Ankanu as to what he observed. That is what is before the court, not the evidence of Mr. Nalo or Mr. Tijan. It's what he saw. He signed it. It's his report.
So, my lord.
Fine. So don't come here with this kind of objections.
My lord, taking it from that point,
No.
was Mr. Ankanu placed under oath?
It does not need to be placed under oath. It does not need to be, because the report of the locus is taken by the registrar. I mean, you see, this kind of objections, honestly, I don't expect them from you.
My lord,
Quite frankly.
my lord, again, the other ground.
Where does it say that the registrar should be put under oath when he's doing a report at the
My lord,
locus?
it is the report of
The
the
report.
locals. That
No,
is
don't
what
come
the
and
law
mislead. No,
requires.
please. No, don't.
My lord, that is
Don't.
what the law requires. My lord,
No,
my lord, this is the
please.
authority.
No, a witness. Was Ankanu a witness? Is the registrar of this court. I don't understand why Mr. Sise, honestly, I expect you, please. Let's not come and mislead the court. We should not be misleading the court.
My lord, that has never been my practice.
And that's why I'm very surprised, because that is not you.
No, my lord, the issue is we are arguing on points of law. My lord, it's not about whether
Did you raise these objections at the locus?
at the locus.
Yes.
Well, my lord, because this
Did you raise these objections at the
because,
locus?
my lord, because this record.
Did you raise these objections at the locus?
Because this record was not part of the
and
evidence.
it's still
then.
not answered.
Because it was not part of the evidence then.
Did you raise these objections at the locus?
My lord, it was not part of the evidence then.
Nah, I'm not going to countenance
It
that
was not.
objection. That objection has no legs.
Most
Find the
my
next
lord.
one.
My lord, as long as you are going to give us a written ruling on it, my lord, we are fine with it.
And if I give a good ruling on it, you will be paying the cost.
My lord,
if I rule against you. So it's fine.
My lord, this is an interlocutory application. My lord,
And it doesn't attract cost?
my lord, I'm not saying it.
Uh-huh.
And we are entitled to raise these objections. my
Yes,
lord.
you can raise them, but
Most
having
grateful, my lord.
told you that these objections are misconceived,
Most grateful.
you continue with them. When I rule against you, which I will eventually, you pay the cost.
Most grateful, my lord.
No problem with
Most
that.
grateful, my lord. My lord, I am representing clients here. I know I am speaking
That's fine.
their voice.
That's fine.
My lord,
That's
my lord,
fine.
on another note.
What's the other
My
one?
lord, on another note. My lord, we state that the other two of your ruling, your other two of your ruling dated the 20th of March, 2023, gave the option to call witnesses only to the prosecution.
No.
My lord, that is what it says.
No.
My lord, may I read what your other two says?
No, I was very clear in discussions here with counsel that witnesses may be recalled. And Mr. Fofana has recalled a witness.
My lord, I am speaking.
So what are you saying?
Before the locus commenced, my lord, this ruling was given on the 20th.
Yes.
When some of us were in New York.
Yes.
My lord, with your leave, may I direct your attention to what it says?
Yes.
That
I have it.
priority was only given to the prosecution.
And where
to
does it
determine
say
the witness-
priority is given to the prosecution?
Milord, may I read your other two?
Yeah, no, read where it says priority is given to them.
Milord, it's there.
Where? Read it.
Milord, a witness who has testified previously in the trial, may attend the locus visit and give evidence at the locus if the prosecution chooses to do so.
All right.
If the prosecution
and what is wrong
chooses
with
to do so.
Go and open Archibald.
Milord, we are looking at the Fala case, which is the locus classicus for locals.
Did that stop the defense from calling a witness at the locus?
Yes, Milord, because this judgment, this ruling...
You raised it at the locus?
Milord, this ruling came...
Did you raise it at the
when
locus?
we were in New York.
Did you raise it at the locus?
How can we ask for witnesses in Sierra Leone when we had gone to New York?
All right.
And look at the timing, Milord.
All right.
Milord, we want a written ruling on that, Milord.
It's fine.
Thank you.
Done?
Yes, Milord.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Amara.
Counsel is actually objecting to the witness giving evidence now, which he had never given, and relying on the case of Samuel M.J. On the case of Samuel M.J. Cassell and Dumbuya Fala. My Lord, can this thing be locked, please? My Lord, the circumstance that we have in this court now can clearly be distinguished from what that position of the law was there then. My Lord, the witness who now seeks to testify, in other words, seeks to give evidence, first had never given evidence in this court, neither in this court or at the locus. So, my Lord, on that ground, the circumstances can be distinguished.
In fact, it's not a question of distinguishing. It is for good reason why, with locus, the court registrar is given the task of preparing a report.
Ask me, Lord, please.
I mean, how
coming
on
to it.
earth can a court registrar be equated to a witness?
Grateful, my Lord.
I mean, this is ridiculous,
Yes,
quite frankly.
My Lord,
You know, come on. You know.
the court registrar went to New York and was, of course, paid for by the state in respect of this particular matter to do his job at a locus in Co. Granted, the locus in Co forms part of the proceedings, but there are clear rules as regards giving evidence in a matter of this nature. My Lord, I submit this witness did not give evidence in New York and had not given evidence prior to this moment, now that he's trying to actually give evidence in court.
In fact, you see...
Except, my Lord...
Hold on,
Sorry,
Mr. Amara. When I gave the ruling of the 20th of March, I referred to several cases which showed that I had taken great care to look at previous cases and to determine the rules of the locus. The registrar's report is simply a record of what transpired at the locus. Nothing to do with who said what and is a witness or gave evidence on oath. Nothing to do with that.
As my Lord pleases.
You know, in fact,
My Lord, except the defense counsel wouldn't want that particular locus in Co to form a proper part of these proceedings, which in itself swims contrary to procedures and the law, as we know them in criminal law. Yes, of course, my mentor is there, Mr. Adi Macaulay. He did, yes. He was my mentor. But then I deviated from certain practices that he actually taught me. My Lord, now that the witness is on stand, and now trying to properly do that which is acceptable in criminal practice, we are now receiving in these proceedings to make it form part of the records of the court properly what transpired in that locus in Co. The apt reason, the only reason for which he was there as registrar of the court. My Lord, so to actually rely on this case, say a witness has given evidence without taking the proper oath, my Lord, it does not apply in this circumstance. The witness has taken oath and he is yet to give evidence. An objection of this nature could have come at the end of his, his evidence given in this court. But my Lord, it does not apply, and I urge this honorable court to discountenance that objection on grounds that it is not supported by any law, and the law which is referenced is misplaced and completely out of order. On the second, my Lord, my Lord, in regard order 2, granted that order 2 was drafted very delicately to take into consideration those witnesses who had testified, and I submit that at that time only prosecution witnesses had testified. Much as it actually refers to witnesses being recalled if the prosecution deems it necessary, this order does not, on any of the pages, in any of the lines, nowhere prevent the defense from recalling witnesses that are testified.
Well, look, we've just said it, Mr. Fofana and Mr. Givau, and I believe Mr. Kagbo has filed papers seeking to recall witnesses. And I did say yesterday, you were not here, that with insofar as PW is concerned, he is recalled on all sides. So Mr. Kagbo did not even need to refer to him. The only issue that I wanted to hear from him was in relation to PW 17 and 18. But leave had been given to recall those witnesses for cross-examination. So,
as my Lord pleases,
there's nothing new.
So, my Lord, adding that to what I am submitting to you, my Lord, it is legless.
It's not
pointless.
No, it's not just legless. It has no life. In as much as Mr. Sise wants to give it life, but it has no life. Because no witness is testified at that locus.
My Lord, I will add it is lifeless.
Lifeless, completely dead.
Pointless. And of course, it cannot be legless because it is lifeless already. That an issue of this nature could be raised as an objection, my Lord. My Lord, in view of this reply, I would urge this honorable court to discountenance the objections raised by counsel. And my Lord,
you should know Mr. Sise by now. When he has a go at you, he throws the kitchen sink and all. You should know him. That's how we operate.
As my Lord pleases.
So, we know each other.
When you know the law, you stand on the law. When the law is not there, you pound the table. That's what you're doing. Oh yeah, that was what you taught me. So many other things. So, my Lord, I would request this honorable court to discountenance, to not only to discountenance the objections, but, my Lord, to discountenance them, especially so when counsel is as he is, with cost.
No, he will, Mr. Sise.
Yes, my Lord.
I don't even need to go far. I look at your authority that you've given. Page 4. This is the words of the trial judge. That during the course of the trial of this case, the plaintiff deposed. The plaintiff, who was a witness in the earlier proceedings, he deposed that they were claiming 8 acres of land. That's why, quite rightly, the Court of Appeal said he was giving evidence. because he was at the locus deposing to claims that have been made in his statement of claim. Now, not a single witness testified at that hearing. That's why I was very particular to say evidence was not being led. Even from Mr. Nalo's point of view, I cautioned his counsel before he started speaking. And all he had to do was just take us through because he knew the geography of the building. That's all that was done. There was no evidence led.
My Lord.
Because if evidence had been led, you damn right I would have insisted that the oath be taken.
My Lord.
But this report is purely a report made by Ankano of what transpired at the locals. But I will still rule on your objection if you want to.
My Lord, can I?
No, well, let's get one thing straight, that I will rule on it, and if it goes against you, you'll be whacked in court.
My Lord, I am representing client here.
Yes, because when you look at look at order 57.9. Look at the rules.
My Lord.
So if you're ready for that, then fine.
May I just answer?
Sure.
Brief.
Sure.
My Lord, if you look at page 5 of this ruling, this locus classicus, my Lord, it does not say whether it's a witness who had testified in court.
No, don't go there. No, please.
Can I present my...
No. Look at page 4, bottom of page 4.
My Lord.
No, look at page 4. Not only did the learned trial judge refer in his judgment to what transpired at the locus, it appears that he was influenced by it as well as in arriving at his decision. This is what he said at page 167 to 168. During the course of the trial of this case, the first plaintiff deposed. That's your authority.
My Lord, I am referring you to page 5.
I've seen your page 5.
My Lord, what page 5 is saying? My Lord, it says it's very simple. Since the evidence, because what this authority is contemplating, there are 2 stages where the oath ought to be taken.
Right. Now, let me stop you there on your own page 5. 3rd paragraph. Look at it. 3rd paragraph. The Court of Appeal in the practice note in Blevy Family and Amani laid down the procedure to be adopted in respect of visits to the locus in court.
Yes, please.
Do those procedures apply in a criminal case?
My Lord.
Do they apply in a criminal case?
My Lord, it applies.
In a criminal case?
Yes.
Which criminal? This criminal case?
Yes, my Lord. This is the standard for locus, my Lord. My Lord, a locus is a locus. My Lord, this is the locus classicus for Sierra Leone, my Lord. My Lord, it is contemplating 2 oaths.
Mr. Sise, you're going to take us.
My Lord, it is contemplating 2 oaths to be taken at the inspection and when the record is being tendered, my Lord. My Lord, that is what I have to say with regards what Fala is saying. Fala is very simple. And this is what has guarded the issue of locus in Sierra Leone. My Lord, again, I will help this court.
All right, who issued the practice note? Let's start from there. Who issued it?
My Lord, it's a decided case and it's part of the law of
Who
Sierra Leone.
issued the practice note?
My Lord, this is the decision of the Court of Appeal. My Lord, I will advance under authority by the Court of Appeal. I will make a copy and send it to the court.
You still have not answered which witness testified at the hearing.
My Lord, it's not about a witness. My Lord, it's about who took records.
So they should be on oath?
Yes, my Lord.
Are they not on oath now to put the record to the court?
It's contemplated two times at the inspection and when the record is being tendered, my Lord.
What oath is he going to take?
My Lord.
What knowledge does he have about the matter?
My Lord, because he is going to take the records.
So what
because
oath,
he is
what
going to
oath
take the
should he
records.
What oath should he take and where's the oath prescribed?
My Lord, as a judicial officer, there is an oath for judicial officers.
Where?
My Lord, look at what...
Point out to it,
my Lord, he is a judicial officer and there is an oath for judicial officers. My Lord, look at what it says. It's very clear. My Lord, it's very clear. Since the evidence given at the inspection was not made under oath, we hold that it was legally inadmissible.
Did he give evidence at the inspection?
My Lord, please. My Lord.
Did he give evidence at the inspection?
My Lord, what we are saying...
Did he give evidence at the...
My Lord, there was Mr. Tijan.
Mr.
My Lord, there was Mr. Tijan.
Mr. Sise.
Mr. Tijan was there.
Mr. Sise.
Nalo was there.
Mr. Sise, I will not allow you to mislead this court. Your own authority is saying that the evidence given, did he give evidence at the
My
locus?
Lord, Mr. Nalo and Mr. Tijan did so. And
You'll pay the
their
cost.
statement, my Lord, their statement form part of this.
No, and I will enforce it. Honestly, I will enforce it.
Most grateful, my Lord. My Lord,
I have no problem with
as
that.
long as we are relying on the law.
That's fine.
My Lord, I will advance another authority,
Okay.
Alhaji Mohammed Bari and Francis Musa Kutubu, specifically at page 5 of the decision so given by the Honorable Justice Brown Mark. My Lord, so, my Lord, because this decision reinstates what's in the castle. So I'll refer this Honorable Court to specifically.
And what was that?
Page 5.
In civil proceedings, right?
Yes, my Lord.
All right, okay.
My Lord, I'll make a copy, don't worry. Sorry, my Lord, this is my only copy I have.
And you come here to argue, you only come with one copy?
No, my Lord, I'll make a copy.
In civil proceedings, right? We just want to make sure, just clarifying the point. No, in civil proceedings. All right, that's fine.
In reply, my Lord, I'll wish to refer you to page 5 of the authority stated. Of course.
I can give him leave.
Hey, my Lord, you only.
I can give him leave, and I give him
My
leave.
Lord, with leave, may I be heard by way of response to what you
It's a
just said.
contentious issue, so I'll give him
Grateful, my
leave.
Lord. Grateful, my Lord. May I have leave, my Lord?
Yes.
Grateful. My Lord, I refer you to page 5 of the authority relied upon by counsel. And I particularly would wish, with your leave, to read paragraph 3, which is that ought to have been followed, which was not followed in that case, and for which the rule that he's now misplacing and misapplying applied. My Lord, it says, the Court of Appeal, in practice notes in Blevy Family versus Amani, laid down the procedure to be adopted in respect of visits to the locus in quo. It stated inter alia. The court should be accompanied by the parties and any relevant witness to the inspection. My Lord, I submit that the court registrar is a relevant witness because no other person had the authority to take notes of what was happening at a locus in Co in New York, but he. The parties or the witnesses there point out such places and things which are material to the case, etc., etc. Like Mr. Nalo took the team, through the building. Then when the court reassembles, as we are now, all the persons who were used at the view must be put into the witness box, as it is in this case, and on oath state what part they took in the recent visit to the locus and what each did. My Lord, what this witness is trying to do is to show what part he took in that locus visit. He did not testify in that locus visit. If he had testified like the party in this case, who pointed out that he had 8 acres of land and pointed his finger at some place, and he did not do that on oath, certainly it would have been a different case altogether. My Lord, even in this civil matter, the guidelines are actually very clear as to what occurs in a locus in co. The witness was there, court registrar, he actually participated, he did what he did, and now he is here, he's taking oath to tell the court what he did. So, my Lord, I don't understand. Even when I was in SDA or I was at the board school, in my junior form, I couldn't have understood or read this one differently. My Lord, I submit, and this one I submit very strongly. I see counsel on the other side trying to play a delay technique, wasting the court's time. No.
May I object in this line of...
Wasting the court's time.
May I object in this line of presentation by my colleague? Because, my Lord...
Mr. Kagbo, what?
No.
He's objecting on his own. He's strong enough for his
Yes,
feet.
my Lord, we take
Well, you
the
wanna come
strongest
in as well?
objection
My Lord.
to Mr. Guevar's,
What? Are you fighting for him?
No, I'm not fighting for him. I'm fighting for the team, my lord.
But he's already fighting for himself.
No, he's accusing us of something that we are not guilty of, my lord.
What? Because he did not go to both school?
Yes, in the bush school. And my lord, in spite of your... I give in. And my lord, it is for that reason that I reiterate, now even stronger, or more strongly, that this objection be discountenanced, and if you are thinking of a lower cost, my lord, please let it be increased.
No, it's going to be punitive cost, because Mr. Sise was advised, you know, in clear terms, even on his own authority that he produced. I pointed out to him what the issues were, and yet he continued. So if a ruling comes out, he'll pay the cost. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. And he knows me, I'll sit up all night and write it. You know, and then in the morning he'll pay for that. So that's fine. Look, this is a very simple issue. The objection is overruled, and I'll give a full ruling tomorrow. And Mr. Sise, just bear in mind that if it goes against you, you will pay costs. No, not in the cost. Personally, order 57-9. Well, certainly, he'll have to pay for all of you. You know, I mean, this kind of objections, I know how Africanus Sise is, but no, we're not going to entertain this kind of objections. You know, have no merit.
Criminal sessions do not go on vacation.
Well, that's your answer.
No, but
But what?
we're advised that the vacation started as of today.
For civil.
Yes, indeed, my lord. But I'm sure
You sure what?
no harm will be done if it were carried forward to the criminal.
No, I will do no civil work tomorrow, but I can do criminal work.
Yes, certainly, my lord. We do
And
appreciate
matters
that.
like this, I need to be clear it up.
The problem is that some of us come from outlying areas of the country, and we need to.
All right, well, we'll do it at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we can all go to where we're going to go. Lusa is not far. It's only 40 minutes away.
I want to go far beyond Lusar, my lord.
Don't worry, we shall facilitate it to make sure you get there in one piece.
As my lord pleases.
All right. Well, it's your man in chambers that led to us coming back tomorrow.
He's my head of chambers, my lord.
Well, that's why you're head of chambers. So
Yes, my
he's
lord.
made a request, so I need to deal with it quickly.
And my colleague is suggesting that it can be done, the ruling can be given electronically, my lord.
No, this is Easter.
And my
no,
other colleague
no.
here-
Those costs need to come out before Easter.
As my lord pleases, and my other colleague
Why is
here
that?
is objecting to portions of the report that say that he did not sleep alone, my lord.
In fact, that objection cannot hold sway, because we'll have to cross-examine witnesses at that locus where he slept. Right, the objection is overruled. A full written ruling would be done. Yes, let's continue. Yes, Sylvia, what's the exhibit number? AAA 1 to 38. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
And you also have photographs, don't you?
Photographs. USB videos.
All right, let's deal with the photographs. No, you raise the objection. We'll deal with it again. Don't worry. I'll deal with all of them. Don't worry. Let's have the photographs out to cancel, please. Mr. Sise, I see Sekjen has not joined the team today. What is going on? You know, I see Sekjen is sitting at the back. I don't wanted to hear some noise today, but you know.
Loads of work.
Yeah, but you know, he needs to be, Mr. Kagbo, please. Sekjen needs to come here. We need to hear some noise.
Energy.
You know.
He's preparing for a NAC meeting, my lord.
Yeah, well, you know, he needs to get the fire from here to go there. So we should make sure he comes here, please. Certainly. Whilst we're looking at the photographs, Mr. Kagbo, I've seen the motion. I think I can, I mean, unless you want to effectively move it, but I can deal with it, you know, as it is. No, I'll deal with it overnight as well. Yeah, I'll deal with it. The issues were clear. We knew what we were saying, right? So, I mean, I don't want to bother you to have to go into it again, but it's clear what you're asking for. Okay, so I'll just deal with it without further argument. Huh? Yeah, because I know what you're asking for. We'd agreed on that, right? Yeah, Peter, no, I don't see. What do I see here? Yeah, but you asked for PW4, PW1, 17, and 18.
That's right, my lord.
Yes? All right. So, what I'm saying, are you happy for me to just deal with it, or do you want to move it as such?
You may deal with it, my lord.
Yeah, it can be dealt with.
As
we know what
pleases.
the principles are, so.
Much obliged, sir.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Amaro Mason, you have issues with that? I take it you've been served with copies of the application.
Do we? All right, let me.
My lord, it's in relation to some of the photographs.
No, not the photographs. I'm talking about the notice of motion filed by Mr. Kagbo for the fourth accused.
My lord, we have no issues with that.
Okay, all right. But were you served with a copy?
Yes, my lord, we were served, or we were just served. White SIM card.
All right, but you have been served.
We've been served, my
And
lord.
you've looked at it.
We have not looked at it.
Well, look at it and come back to me.
Grateful, my lord. Grateful that we'll come back tomorrow.
But I see you've been quiet about it.
We're waiting our turn to.
Very unusual of my learned colleague, my lord, Matsibo.
Very much so. That's why I'm wondering why he never said anything. But anyway. Right. Let me just say, gentlemen, these were just a selection of photographs taken. It's not every photograph, just selection. Mr. Koma, are you done? Mr. Nico Wilson, it may well help for you to start giving a statement.
Page 28 should not only be redacted, but should be expunged from the records. Because you don't write down everything that comes to your ears at the locus. You know? I slept alone, others did not. You know? So.
All right, you got the photographs back? All right, what's the exhibit numbers in those? One, 2, 19. All right. All right. Now, gentlemen, in relation to the videos, it's been done by the IT department of the judiciary. Has been compiled into one, and we've extended copies in different memory sticks for the attention of council. Can you just show them what we have? Right. Where's the IT man? Hindolo. Just put one in so we just see a snapshot of what we have in there. But it's the same video evidence that's just been copied out.
With regard to the photographs, there is an issue relating to one of the photographs, which captured the front portion of the premises, and captured quite some document that is quite relevant and pertinent to the matter.
It captured some documents.
Yes, it was like posted on the wall to the outer wall. Yes. Yes, yes.
So what about them?
Well, I don't seem to see it as part of those photographs. Yeah. My lord, if...
No. So, no, but I did, no, there would definitely be copies of that photograph, because I did ask the head of communications to take those photographs for the front, yes.
Yes.
But then we know the stop work orders were at the front of the building, so it's public knowledge.
Well,
but I suppose you want to see that reflected in the photographs?
Actually, there were stop order rescind orders.
Stop
work rescind orders. In other words, they indicate that there was a stop order, which a particular date had been removed. And it may be pertinent to the entire matter.
Well, the issue of the stop work orders, there have been testified here about those stop work orders. We have them. I know for a fact that photographs were taken of those. So I can get the head of communication to look out for those photographs if they are relevant to your case. You want them in, and then they could be tendered subsequently.
I would be grateful.
But we have them.
Yes.
We have them. Yes. Now, he's a fit man. He's been resting a whole week in New York, so he can stand up. Hindulo, come. Mr. Nico Wilson, for those who are questioning whether you slept alone, you can see that you are alone. Right, so the two is the one. Please, I don't want an objection. Let's move forward. Mr. Fofana, I see you have a starring role. Now, it's just fast forwarded just to show what was captured. Right? Now, how many of those sticks do you have? Now, the sticks I'm asking about. How many sticks? All right. The first 3 would stay with the court, and then the remaining 5 will go out to the prosecution and defense counsel. Well, the first 2 actually. Yeah, 6. 1 prosecution and then defense counsel. What are we labeling those as? AAJ? No, not the photographs, the sticks. What are we labeling them as? One to 8. So give 1 each to counsel. One to 11, okay, and 1 to 8. Right, you Sylvia, let's start again. AAAJ, is that what you're saying? All right. And then we have AAJ 1 and 2 remain on the court file, yes? And AAJ 3 goes to the prosecution? All right, so it goes to prosecution and defense counsels, yes? All right. Says label as AAJ 1 to 8, but AAJ 3 to 8 goes to prosecution and defense. And then AAJ 1 and 2 stays with the court. You done? All right. Yes, Mr. Kanu. Is that all? All right. Cross-examination, Mr. Fofana. Any cross-examination? All right, Mr. Sise. Thank you. Mr. Givao. I think Mr. Nico Wilson should do this because I think Anne needs to explain how he knows that he's left alone.
My Lord, no objection.
I see he does not want the information to be revealed, eh?
No cross-examination.
All right, Mr. Koma. All right, Mr. Kanu, thank you very much. Sorry, prosecution, any cross-examination? Sorry? All right, Mr. Kanu, you're free to go. Thank you very much. And please make sure that counsel get copies of the photographs, colored copies of the photographs and the report that's tendered. Let's have copies made out for them today, not tomorrow, today. All right. Yes, Mr. Mansibo, PW2, is he here? Mr. Fofana, let me just say we start and we finish at 4, just so you know.
Yes, just for the court to be guided, because the reason why we are recalling Mr. Bokari in particular is to avail him the opportunity of saying the clip, because we'll be putting questions. It will be very unfair for me to put questions to him if I have not challenged him with what he met and saw. So if it is the wish of the court, and it's going to take some time to probably go through all of that clip, I don't know what your direction will be. But I will ask that he look at it, and then based on what will be presented to him, I will now put the counter question.
Well, sure, and this is why we made sure that you have a copy of the memory sticks with the videos on there, and I believe you may need that to aid your preparation as well.
Yes, so, I mean, in other words, I'm really saying that if you give us a break now, it will help us to go through.
No, that's fine. What I wanted to ascertain from you was whether you had preliminary questions prior to the videos being shown, or you're just going to go straight into the videos.
Well,
that's what I wanted to ascertain.
I can start with maximum of 5 questions, and then we'll do the video, yeah. No, let's start it today, so that he understands why we are here. It's the same.
Yes, I think so too. You know, he's been here all day, so let him, you know. Now, can I just inquire from defense counsel, having regard to the fact that the video of the locust was public knowledge, would you have any objections if Mr. Bokari were to look at this video in advance of coming to court, so at least he has a clear idea of what is in it? I don't think it should be a problem. Yes, I don't know. Mr. Mansibo, so at least, yes, let him have a look at it so it's in his mind what is going to be questioned on. Yes? No, he will have a copy under the guise of the prosecution to look at it, not him having a copy in his own right, but through the prosecution availing the video to him so he can see what is on there. And then, of course, when he's cross-examined, he's able to know, you know, where exactly you're referring to or what exactly you're looking at.
Yeah, I have no problem. I'll just do 2 questions for today.
Yes, I know that. I'm just saying you
short
could
questions, yeah.
preliminary matters, and then we could deal with the video later on.
Very well.
Okay.
No, they said they cannot solve the
Yes.
Are you a Muslim or a Christian? Take the Bible. This man. So, okay. Yes, it's okay. Yes. Say, I, followed by your names,
I, Paul Solomon Huipan Abokari,
swear by the Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
in this case
in this case
between the states
between the state
and the accused persons in the dock
and the accused persons in the dock
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me, O God.
So help me, O God.
Sworn on the Holy Bible.
Yes, Mr. Bokari, thank you for coming, and we appreciate you have made time to come to continue. So you recall testifying in this court on a number of occasions, and we asked you questions about building in New York, the Chancery building.
Yes, my Lord.
And in particular, I'm just prefacing because I've not put the questions yet. You said that you made 2 separate visits to that building on a professional note. In other words, you went there in a professional capacity as the professional head of the Ministry of Sierra Leone.
Yes, my Lord. I went there on 2 separate occasions. One on a monitoring visit, the other one on a status visit, investigation visit.
So the first one you said was on a monitoring visit.
Monitoring visit, yes, my Lord.
What were you monitoring?
We are monitoring the processes and the activities that has to do with the construction, the renovation and reconstruction of the Chancery building.
And just for ease of reference, I take it that was in October 2019, that first one.
Yes, my Lord.
Okay. And the second one you said was for purposes of status. Did you say status? Or?
Status assessment of the Chancery building.
An investigation, you said.
Yes, my Lord.
And again, for ease of reference, that was in August 2021. You have
It was
exhibit W1 to 21.
June to July. 18th of June.
Okay. The report was dated August. Right.
Yeah.
You went in June, July, and then you report in
The
August.
report is 4th of August.
Thank you. Yes. Mr. Bokari, you went as an expert for the government of Sierra Leone to do those assessments, correct? Professional expert.
I went as part of, as a professional head of the Ministry of Works to assess the status of the Chancery building.
Yes. So based on the work that you did on the building on those 2 occasions, as well as the 2 separate reports that you produced, you will agree with me that, you did so as an expert, an engineering expert in construction of buildings.
I went as a professional head of the Ministry of Works based on my terms of reference to want to monitor the activities and the processes in the Chancery building on the first visit, and the second visit, the status of the Chancery building.
Let me make it easy for you. I'm confining myself to the word expert. Expert. Okay. No, it's not clear. It's not clear. No, no, it
The
is not.
witnesses said, I went to the mission as the professional head of the Ministry of Works.
Were you an expert when you were conducting these reports? Were you? I mean, it has to be very clear.
But an expert on what? No, I just asked Mr. Fofana, an expert on what? The witness said I was there as the professional head.
And yeah, but he did not say yes or no. Okay, well, okay.
No,
so what is the answer? Did he go as a... Okay, so, well, can you allow me now? I mean, we are not conducting this cross-examination, Mr. Kwebaya. Did you go there as an expert or not? That is my question. You must answer.
Hold on. The witness has given an answer.
Yeah.
If you don't like the answer, find another question. That will get you the answer
No,
you
but
want.
I want to get it from him. Yeah. Did you go there as an expert engineer or not?
No,
that's my question.
He said, hold on, gentlemen. The answer given by the witness, which is recorded now twice, is that I went as the professional head. That is his answer.
Meaning that he did not go as an expert. I have to be very clear.
Well,
I mean, it's not about inference, because I want to challenge him on that.
It's up to you.
No, but if I get it, I don't want to come back on it and then they begin to say that is not what he said.
No.
I have to be very clear on it.
All right, look.
Did you go there?
Hold on. Let us be clear about that. The question of whether he's an expert or otherwise, we know there's case law on that. In other words, Avi Silverlock. Now, when he testified in this court, those procedures that are required to be executed for an expert were not instituted in his favor. So his answer is very simple, that I went as the professional head. But that does not stop you getting around that question of whether he's an expert or not.
Come in there, my lord. I mean, my learned friend probably he's not been in this before. Now that he's here, he will see where I'm going. I mean, Mr. Bokari, I put it to you that when I'm putting it to you that when you went on those reports, you went as an expert of the government of Sierra Leone to examine the Chancery building. I'm putting that to you.
It's as part of my duty as professional head. All projects that has to do with government are being assessed by me. We supervise them, we monitor, I'll provide reports.
Now, what's your profession, sir?
I'm a civil engineer, a civil servant.
No, gone that before. I'm not going over those questions. So I put it to you, Mr. Bokari, that you yourself, in your own report, refer to yourself as an expert.
See, there are always ways and means.
No, I'm putting that to you so you can accept. You said, I'm not Mr. Kwevaya, please. My lord, you see, this is it. I'm not going to allow him to give answers to this witness. I'm not going to allow him to do that. Because what he's now trying to do is to give answers to him. What is he saying? I mean,
No. The report is already part of the exhibits in this court.
Yeah.
So if he is questioning him on the basis that in that report you consider yourself to be an expert, then it's for the witness to answer
Absolutely.
either way or the other.
So what's the point?
The report is there.
Sit down, Bo.
No. The question to the witness is putting it to him that he referred to himself as an expert in that report. And of course, well, he will come to that. He'll come to that. He'll come to that.
No, I will not allow you to give him any answers. I mean, yeah.
No, don't disrupt. No.
Hello, please, this is Ramadan.
No.
And the prosecution
We are not yet
keeps
reaching time to cut
objective.
fast.
Am I not?
We're still far away from cutting fast.
Mr. He says there's a potential that he'll be mulcted in cost.
My Lord, one more of these kinds of objection, my Lord, we'll be asking for
We're fine. We'll deal with it when it
for
comes to it.
Sunakati from the ACC.
I'm sure he has no problems with that.
So let me just
So for now.
rephrase the question again for ease of reference. Did you at any point refer to yourself as an expert in the reports that you prepared? Expert on
No,
the
my lord.
examination of these buildings? Did
No,
you at
my
any
lord.
point? Or you did not? Okay. Okay, can you show the witness exhibit? Exhibit AK. Exhibit AK, page 2. Yeah. Exhibit AK, page 2, paragraph 1.2. Have you seen it? Can you read out that paragraph? Paragraph 1.2. Following a request. Have you seen it?
Following a request from the Permanent Mission of Sierra Leone to the United Nations for a team of experts from the capital, Freetown, to assess the reconstruction work on the Chancery Building, located at 245 East 45th Street, New York. A 3-man team arrived in New York on the 16th of October 2019.
Yes, and the team included who and who? Did it include
The
yourself?
team included Mr. Joseph Spencer Thornton, the Director of Administration, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Emmanuel T. Komba, Senior Deputy Financial Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Mr. Paul S.H. Bokari, Professional Head, Ministry of Works and Public Assets.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know if my learned friend really wants to take over my cross-examination. Just allow me, please. Yes, I mean, so you have listed yourself as part of the 3-man team of experts. You said, following a request from the Permanent Mission of Sierra Leone to the United Nations for a team of experts from the capital, Freetown, to assess the reconstruction works on the Chancery Building located at 245 East Street, a 3-man team arrived in New York on 16th October 2019.
If
You
you
were
can,
part of
if you
that
can
team?
read 1.2, it's a request from the Permanent Mission
Yes.
for the United Nations for a team of experts.
Yeah.
And then when you come to the last end of it, you say
Yeah.
a 3-man team
Yes.
arrived in New York.
Yes.
I did not say
I'm saying is, were you part of
a
that team
3-man
of
team.
experts? Were you part of
A
the team
3-man
of
team, and our designations are quite stated there clearly.
Yes, were you part of the team of experts that New York?
I was part of the team that was selected.
I will leave it there. I will come back. The point has been made. The point, no, objection, but the point has been made.
Yeah. No.
Please, we need some decorum, please. We need some decorum, please. Thank you.
My Lord, I think there's a misunderstanding. What my learned friend has asked the witness to read, if I might just explain, it says the request is what indicated.
Mr. Matsibo is trying to give evidence from outside of that box.
No.
I mean, that is what he's doing, my lord. We object.
Gentlemen, please.
My Lord,
Look, hey.
he's putting words into the mouth of the witness. That is what I'm saying.
Listen,
Yes.
Mr. Mansibo,
Yes, my Lord.
it's a very simple issue.
Yes.
All right? The witnesses just read,
Yes.
in simple terms,
Yes.
that a request was made for a team of experts
Yes.
to go to New York.
Indeed, my Lord.
And that team was sent to New York.
No. What was sent to New York?
No, hold on.
My Lord.
Hold on. Please. Hey. The request was very clear.
For a team of experts.
A team of experts to go to New York.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah.
And in response to that request, a team was sent.
A 3-man team was
Yes, a team was sent in response to the request.
Yes.
And the 3 people included him.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Now, as the issue is very simple,
Yes.
it's down to me to determine, subject to applications made by council, whether in fact that team of experts were a team of experts.
That
Right.
3-man team was a team of experts.
Well, that is what was requested for.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And if 3 people go to New York as part of that request,
Yes.
can an inference not be drawn that in fact this is the team of experts requested for?
No.
Why not?
No, my lord, it's
Why
not
not?
necessary. With all due respect, my lord, it may not be necessary inference.
So, okay, let me ask you. No, all right, fine. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Now, we sit in this court and say, right, now we want a team of lawyers from the ACC.
A team of civil lawyers.
No, a
Yeah.
team of lawyers from the ACC.
Yes, my lord.
If the 4 of you turn up, can we not draw an inference that all 4 of you are lawyers?
No.
No?
There's no qualification of the nature of the lawyers. But if you are not saying, you are now saying we don't only need a team, we need a team of experts. And then in response, the people that are sent there, there's no indication that they are experts. It's only that they are...
No. The question is whether it can reasonably be inferred. Please.
Quietness, please.
The question is whether it can reasonably be inferred that in response to the request for a team of experts, the members of that team are experts in the field.
Maybe that is something that ought to be clarified.
Well,
now.
fine. So this is why I say it's a matter for me to determine whether, in fact,
I
I
agree, my
consider that he is an expert. And Ivy Silverlock is clear
Yes.
on the point.
Yes.
So Mr. Fofana wants to emphasize the point that he's an expert because his cross-examination is geared towards showing that he's an expert.
Yeah.
But when I come to consider it, I'll look at it to see whether he's an expert in line with the relevant considerations.
More so when we don't even know what the experts are expert in.
Well, they simply, Mr. Bakari's qualifications are here.
Yes.
When he testified, he told us what his qualifications were.
Yes.
So we have that. Now the question is, if Mr. Fofana is putting questions to him to say he is an expert, then the court will draw the necessary inference at the end of the day.
Yes.
But there's nothing more the court can do because the question is being asked. The portion of the statement relied upon, which is the report in Exhibit AK, which Mr. Fofana relies upon, is what is just read. And the unmistakable fact is that a team of experts were requested for.
Yes.
And in response, a team went to New York.
A team was taken to New York.
That's as far as we can go.
That's
Now, the
fine.
question of whether
Yeah.
he is an expert would be determined at the conclusion of the case in terms of the criteria in Silverlock. It's simple as that.
Which might also mean that the other 2, one might have to go into ascertaining whether they are also...
No, we're not looking at the other 2. He is here testifying. The question being put to him is whether he is an expert. And he's answered that I went as the professional
with a
head.
team.
With a team. So the issue is whether, in fact, going as the professional head makes him an expert or it doesn't make him an expert. That's the issue.
Yes. Yes, Your
So
Lordship.
whatever he says is what he says. That's the
Exactly,
evidence
Your
in the case.
Lordship.
Yeah, we cannot go beyond that.
Yes.
But I mean, what he is inferring right now is a team was requested for,
Yeah.
a team was sent, of which he was a member of that team.
And they were all experts. That's what he said.
Well, he's entitled to that view. Entitled to it.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Because they're experts. That's what a team of experts was requested for. So, yes, Mr. Fofana. He said that the team is given the names of members of the team and the designations.
Yes, and he said he was part of the team, my lord.
Yes.
You want to deal Mr. Bokari? So, just this question, because I really, my learned friends have something, and the court too is busy. I mean, I'll just ask one more question. Mr. Bokari, you said you have been professional head of the Ministry of Works for how long again?
since 2020.
Huh?
2020.
Since 2020. Good.
Yeah.
So, since 2020?
Yes, my lord.
So, at the time you went in 2018, you were not professional head? Because the report is here dated 2019, sorry. 2019. I mean, you are the one saying it. Was it since 2019? I will give you the benefit of the doubt.
2019, I was the acting professional head.
Okay, but you didn't say that in your report. You said you were the professional head. Okay, but I'll take that, I mean. So, as professional head representing the Ministry of the Government of the Republic of Sierra Leone,
Ministry of Works in the government of Sierra Leone?
Yes, the government of the Republic, I must emphasize, of Sierra Leone. Have you at any point in time performed the work of an expert engineer?
I have performed the work of a professional head of the ministry.
My Lord, the question is very clear, and I will put it again. The word is on expert. You know, you understand what the word means?
No, I think I'll disallow the question. It's not fair.
To say an engineer is a
No, it's okay. You don't have to answer that. It's okay.
That whether he has ever performed the work of an expert, my Lord.
Yeah, an expert in what? It's a big question, wide question.
I said, I mean, in engineering, in the field that he says he is expert in, he's an engineer, professional engineer. That's what I was asking.
There are many, many variables, whether an expert is required, an expert has actually done the work. We can only deal with that aspect from the surrounding circumstances.
Okay. Have you ever performed the work of an expert in assessing construction works for the ministry?
No. What is the work of an expert?
Yeah, say again.
What is the work of an expert? Are there any laid down procedures of what an expert should do?
Obviously, my Lord. I mean,
No.
Are we assuming that he doesn't understand the word?
No. It's the way the question is framed. Have you done the work of an expert? So, an expert can be required in different forms. All I'm saying is, from the surrounding circumstances, we can determine whether, in fact, it fits into the criteria of an expert. But you can't ask him to say, "Did you do the work of an expert?"
But, my Lord, because it's on the assumption that he understands what that word means. I mean,
No. It's not a fair question.
Is it such a complicated jargon or phrase or word that, I mean, he cannot understand? My Lord?
You're still on solid ground. No.
Because the word expert only became an issue after New York, my Lord.
No.
But it doesn't matter.
Listen. I know you like the word expert, but the question of whether he's an expert would be determined in line with the evidence that he gives and the criteria that surrounds determination of expert witnesses. So that's as far as we can go.
So, well, I mean, that is going to be quite elaborate. Can I ask for an adjournment? Because I will put these reports to him and what he did, and then I'll put it to him eventually that based on what he did and what he reported on, he's in fact an expert.
Well, then it will be for him to answer whether he is or not.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to take much of the court's time, and I will do that when I come back. Before going to the video, I mean, there are quite interesting things that will emerge. I mean, let's wait and see. Thank you very much, Mr. Bokari.
All right. No, expert is a legal determination, so it's not fair on him. You see, Mr. Fofana, one thing we need to be wary of, somebody can be a professional, but they're not an expert. So this is why I keep on saying, at the end of his evidence, it will be determined whether he's a mere professional or he's an expert. But I know you want to paint him into the expert corner.
He can also be merely a professional in a team of experts.
Precisely.
I understand.
So
Don't worry. So I'm glad that we don't have professional. Your case is done on that. There is no professional expert in your case.
Mr. Bokari, I know you have history with him, but just forget about him. All right? Just focus on your evidence.
Yes, my Lord.
All right.
Either way, you are short. You don't have a professional expert.
All right. We will deliver the rulings tomorrow. on both of the matters. That is the one made by Mr. Kagbo and Mr. Sise's objection. Deliver them tomorrow, and then we'll finish off. Mr. Fofana will continue with Mr. Fofana. We aim to finish by 1 o'clock tomorrow. So,
What time do we
starting at 10.
10, okay.
Yes, and then Mr. Kagbo can head off to those faraway lands. All right, so Mr. Bokari, before we go, you need to contact the prosecution team. You need to review the video evidence which has been tendered in this court. You need to look at it, all right? Because Mr. Fofana is going to be asking you questions based upon your previous testimony and the video evidence which you're going to see. So the defense have indicated that they have no objections to you looking at them. So familiarize yourself with what you see and then be ready to answer questions posed by counsel. It depends, other counsel might also need to have questions for you. All right?
Yes, my lord.
So please focus on that. Look at the video from the prosecution, and then you'll be here tomorrow at 10 o'clock to deal with the court examination. All right? Okay. Right, thank you very much.